Is that okay? It's prepared, but it's improvised. The way that I work live, I don't just press a button on the laptop and pretend I'm doing something. I work in a very old style, very dub fashion. I use the mixing board and the effects as instruments. So it's sort of, certain things are planned and prepared, but I can change them how I want to change them. So there's nothing set, and this is the way I like to work. There's no boundaries. I don't like boundaries. I don't like rules and regulations. I like to do it my way, and that's always what's kept me enjoying the music and to trying to keep pushing. Famous John Coltrane quote. You know, John Coltrane used to just enter the stage, and as soon as he started playing, he was lost. He was in his own, he was in his own space, and that's the same for me. I'm not thinking of anything else except for being up there and just getting lost in sound. It's almost like a trance, to be quite honest. Yeah, that's the nearest thing that I can say. It's almost trance-like, but it's not, because obviously I am with it to be able to control everything. But it's just been. I sort of see it as being trapped in a space that I'm creating and I'm controlling. So it's a good space for me, not for everybody. I know that my music's not for everybody, but it's just my little space. I can get lost in it. Nature, I'm a fisherman. I think a lot of people know that, and fishing breathes a lot of life into my sound, because I'm quite a hermit. As much as I've got a family, a partner and 2 children, I'm a very lonely individual. I like to be by myself. I wouldn't say I'm antisocial, but I wouldn't say I'm that sociable at the same time. Where I say sociable, I don't go out, I don't party, I don't do clubs. I'm not interested in none of that, and that's where the fishing comes in. That the fishing gets me away from the music, it gets me away from the city, it gets me away from the family. That might seem selfish, but it's just the way it is. I need that space, and going to the river to be with nature just charges the batteries, it gives me ideas, it just makes a refreshing change from being stuck in a city, stuck in a studio, stuck with the family, doing the same thing, stuck in a rut basically. So, you know, getting away to the river with nature, that's my drug really, that's the remedy that keeps me going, to be honest. What I do, I'm an honest person, it's all from the heart. I'm a very easy person. I lack a lot of confidence, but whatever, that's just how I am. It's how I've always been. I don't care, I'm not selfish, you know what I mean? I have a family, so I cannot be selfish. For me, that's all it's about. It's about the family, and I don't care about anything else. I'm sick of the politics within music and scenes and fashions and business. It's got nothing to do with music and nothing to do with what I'm about. And that's why, you know, I am still this very little man in a very, very little underground form of, you know, music, and whatever. If that's the way it is, it doesn't bother me.
You picked the wrong time. Beware, my friend.
Well, 22 years I've been involved with music. Grew up with music. Come from punk, John Peel. Discovered music in 1978. Punk music, punk rock. Discovered John Peel 1979, which was really, that was the opening, that was the door to discover a lot of musics, really, a lot of interesting music. Peel was one of those DJs that played what he wanted to play rather than being told, and he educated me, I personally think, and educated a lot of other people that listened to John Peel. A very important part of my life. So I guess my first band that actually got noticed would have been Napalm Death, which, you know, I was the drummer for from 85, sorry, to 1991. June of 1991, I decided that it was time to finish with Napalm. I'd done everything I could do. The journey for me had ended. There was no more space. I needed a new challenge, and Scorn came about. And the idea of Scorn, really, which it is still to this date, was just to create minimalistic beat and bass music with a soundscape or sound space within the beat and bass. The idea has never changed. It's evolved, but the original idea for creating, minimalistic beat and bass music, always there and still to today. Within that journey of Scorn, there's been a lot of other projects, Painkiller being one, working with John Zorn and Bill Laswell. Quite a sort of hardcore improvisation in project, mixing hardcore with dub. Quite a fun project because it's completely improvised, so there's no rehearsing, there's just get in the studio or get on the stage and do this. There's been a lot of other projects, off of the back of Scorn, a lot of beat, just a lot of beat and bass projects. It's something that I've always enjoyed. Heavy bass, heavy beats, but always working minimal, and that's my style, minimalism. Not too much clutter, just this basic, raw, hypnotic, I guess, sound, really. That's for me what works. That's always been my style. From drums, I see myself as a very basic, minimal drummer, to what I do with the electronics. Was extreme, and Scorn is extreme. Napalm pushed the boundaries of not just playing fast, but playing very, aggressive isn't really the right word, but very raw, in your face music. We just pushed and pushed, and for me, I pushed it as much as I could. I needed something new, a new challenge, and Scorn is about pushing the bass, pushing the beat, and working with soundscapes and just this space, just this solid, I think, space that I think Scorn is. Beat
and grind
and grindcore. Well, the blast beat
Yeah.
is something that, I'll be honest, hands up for the record, I created. I don't want a gold medal for it. That was Mick Harris, this hyperactive punk kid that heard this hardcore music, which was like an extension from punk. It was taking it a lot faster, a lot rawer, a lot heavier, a lot more extreme. And I always looked for extreme forms of music, and the hardcore beat, as we called it, I just wanted to take it to another level and push it as much as you could push it. So I labelled it the blast beat, because it is a blast beat, so quick and so out of control, but in control. It's that chaos feeling. I like that chaos, that chaos within music. Just sort of on the outer edges and just pushing as extreme as you can possibly push it. Again, all from the heart. So grindcore, it's just a word that, again, I just came up with it. But the weird thing about grindcore is, grindcore for me was a description that I used for a band called the Swans. When I first heard the Swans in 1984, I was blown away. I heard this heaviness, such slow, and this big expanse, this space that they created, and I just think this word came to me. It's grind, because it's just just so slow and just this grind, and that was the word, grind. And then, you know, a year and a half later, I joined Napalm. Napalm wanted a drummer that wanted to play faster, and that was me. I luckily got the position to be the new drummer for Napalm, and I think just as it evolved, I think I just one day just said, yeah, grindcore. And, well, the rest is history, isn't it? It's just a word, and it exploded. My music is quite dark. I don't want to be pigeonholed that it's just about darkness. It isn't just about darkness, but just for the way I am, my personality, there is a darkness. Yeah, there's definitely a darkness there, and I think it comes across for sure in the music, not in a negative way. No, you know, darkness can be quite positive, I think. You know, darkness can be a space that can just be somewhere where you can think. It can be a good place, I think. A bit down, but I like the depths.